Hey everybody, here are the remnants of my beautiful canna. You can see it's been hit by frost, but still going strong, still has some new blooms coming up, but it isn't going to be long before the deep freeze is going to take this thing out. And I thought before that happens and before we end up killing the whole plant off, I'd like to dig it up and see if I can overwinter it in the basement. So I've seen a lot of people have had great success with this, so I'm going to give it a try. So my goal here is to dig this up. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. And I'm debating, I'm going to have to cut off all the stems. I don't know if I should do it before or after. I think I'm going to try it after just for the fun of it. And also if I wanted to have something to pull on, maybe I'd have the stems, but I might regret that. I might end up trimming them off anyway, but we'll give it a go. So here at the base, I have some lemon coral sedum, which is an annual, so I'm not worried about that getting wrecked. And then this is some shamrocks. Now, some varieties of shamrocks are perennial here, but I don't think this dark purple one is, so I don't have to worry about that one either. I'm just gonna basically, I think I'll pull away some of the mulch that I have in here. Man, this thing got nice and big. When I first planted it up, it was only about 2 feet tall, had just a couple stems, and it has just grown to over 6 feet tall and looks really fantastic. So let's see how this goes. Oh, it's all coming out in one nice big piece. That's nice. Look at that. That was way easier than I was anticipating. Okay. Wow. So this thing has gotten absolutely huge, and what I'm going to do is just try to get some of the dirt off of this, and then I'm just going to break up some of these other pieces, and I'll cut off any leaves off of these and any stems, and we'll just kind of work off. Now, I don't know if this is going to be good the way I'm doing this, but let's just see what happens as I break them apart. Look at that. So I don't know, I mean, there's roots here, so I'm hoping that's still viable even though I cut off parts of that. And I absolutely love this variety because it has this beautiful random striping that comes in. So some of the stems or some of the leaves are going to be more of that purpley red color. Other parts are going to be more green, and then the flowers do the same thing, where they're either yellow or they're red, depending, you know, it's very random how they go. The variety is called Creta, which I think also goes by the name Cleopatra. So if you see Creta or Cleopatra, there's just a variety. Now, these do have these little seed pods in here, but I checked all of them, and it seems like all the seed pods are completely empty. There's nothing in there, or if there is, yeah, they're all like hollow. So I don't know if it didn't produce seed or if it doesn't produce seed. Don't really know the story on that. I don't know much about canna. This is really the first year, kind of actually the second year. We had some canna last year, but not very. So this is really my second year growing, and my first year growing them in my own yard. So now I'm here in the basement, and I'm going to lay these out to dry. From what I've seen other people do, they'll let them sit for about a week and let them dry out a little bit before they just put them either in a bag or in a box, something with a little bit of airflow, and keep them in the basement in a kind of cool, dry space, because you don't want them to be too wet. You also don't want them to completely dry out. Now, a lot of times when you're digging up, like these are rhizomes, but also like with bulbs and corms and things like that, a lot of times you'll leave the stems on, and that allows some of that energy that's in the leaves to drop down into the roots. I don't know if that is necessary with these. I'm not really sure. I guess we're going to find out. But from what I've seen other people doing, that wasn't what they did. So we'll see. And don't mind Liam's collection of bells. He restores old bells. And so I'm kind of taking over his little work area because he's taking a break from that right now. So I'm going to just lay these out for a couple days. Then when I'm done, I'm going to put them, I think, probably in maybe a cardboard box or maybe a bag, and just let them sit over the winter, and then I'll plant them up in the spring and we'll see what happens. So I'm not sure, like, I don't know, will this sprout? I have no idea what's what here. I have a feeling some of these with the roots will, so hey, it's all worth a try. Yeah, so this one has a stem but doesn't have any roots, so we'll see what happens with that. But we'll let these dry up so that they're not too damp when they get on there, and we'll see what happens. So as I had mentioned, I have never done this before. So if you have any tips on how to overwinter a canna, go ahead and leave them in the comments, because I'm going to be all ears. I have no idea. I may have already messed up the whole process, but I definitely think it's worth a try, because this is a variety that I never get to see. Our growers don't have it available to us to bring in. And when I look at other greenhouses and nurseries, I just haven't seen it before. So I just happened to be at our local pharmacy, who have a little flower stand every spring. And it was right around June 20th. They were already on sale at that point. And so I got these, I think it was like $9, and it was probably, what, 2 feet tall. And quickly, within about 3 weeks, it had doubled in size, and you can see it was just huge. And what I loved about it, and what I love about the cannas in general, is that they do flower all season. And the good thing, like this one here, we did not give it regular fertilizer. We had just kept skipping it, because those plants that we had in the front there, we didn't really do much fertilizing. So I think it was fertilized twice in that 4-month period. So it's not a heavy feeder, and it still performs fantastically. So it's really beautiful. The other variety that I'd love to get my hands on is a line called Tropicana, and it has these beautiful variegated leaves, and they're kind of orange. I saw it once at Milliger's in Racine, Wisconsin, and it was like $40 for the thing. And I was like, oh, I can't pull that one off. But man, if this is a success where I can overwinter these and have more, it'd be worth maybe the investment to buy that $40 one, just to have that kind of variety, because that's another one that I haven't been able to see very much of. So I really do love these canna. They're really quite beautiful. They're very showy, very tropical, so it gives a different vibe up here. So hopefully this works for me. I have 2 spots that I can put them in. So when they're all dried out after about a week of sitting here, I'm hoping I'll probably put them either in a paper bag or maybe just a cardboard box with the lid off. That's what I've heard. Some people, have put stuff in there. So some people put it with cardboard, and some people with moss. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. But then a lot of people just put it in a cardboard box or in a bushel basket, and they just keep it in the basement. So I have 2 spots here. So we have kind of a root cellar area. So I'll put probably half of them in there, and the other half I'll just put in this other part of the basement that stays a little bit warmer, just to see if there's a difference. I don't know if it'll make any difference, but it'll just, I guess I also feel like divide and conquer. So if one fails, maybe the other one might do okay. So we'll wait and see how that goes. So another little experiment for me. Hopefully it goes well. I am really looking forward to Canna. One of the new varieties that we'll be carrying next year is from the Canova series. It's called Golden Leopard. That one has such a beautiful flower. It has this yellow goldish flower with this beautiful orange freckling. And when I first was seeing it, I thought, oh, is that freckling going to kind of be not real noticeable? But it was just gorgeous. It had this intense color and just really stood out in containers. So I'm looking forward to having that one as well. But man, I'm talking a lot about cannas today, because I think you just get so much out of them. So anyway, I'm going to just let these sit. And then it's going to probably be next year before you get to hear how this went. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.